watching Chopping It Up with Roger Cador and Perry White.
The weather has changed. It's getting cooler, and that means it is the fall, and it is upon us, and it is another episode of Chopping It Up with Coach Roger Cador. I'm Perry White. He's the man, the myth, the legend. He's the Hall of Famer. He's all of that. That's Roger Cador. I'm a man on the board, Garrett Edgerson. It's another week, another episode, another show, and we here live with you guys. And as always, before we get started, hit that subscribe button right there underneath the video. Become a subscriber and get the notifications every time we go live. We love to have the interaction with you guys in the chat as well. And just leave some comments after you watch the video and share it and be able to let people know what we're doing here. Coach, what's going on?
Nothing but the rent, man. Nothing but the rent.
I like that shirt. What's going on with that shirt right there?
Robert Graham just, it's cool. I wanted to wear it. Had been in my closet. Decided to put it on.
Yeah. Kind of giving me some 70s vibes or something with that shirt.
Well, this one in Robert Graham is a big-time name in the shirt-making business. Industry. Costs a few pennies.
Oh yeah, and I know you also do the hats too, man. You've had some fly hats I've seen you have over the time we've been doing this show that you brought back from other countries.
But we can't do the hat in this studio. It doesn't work. The hat doesn't work with the headphones.
Yeah, it does not work, man. How was your weekend?
It was good. I mean, I didn't do a whole lot, but that's typical what I do. And now that it's beginning to cool off, I may venture out a little more, be more aggressive.
Yeah, that heat will make you stay in and kind of want to stay cool, right?
Well, when you have asthma, you're limited in what you could do anyway. And why make yourself more miserable by trying to fight the elements,
You've been watching some baseball. It is the World Series is now underway, and the Diamondbacks and the Rangers are going at it with each other. The series tied 1-1 right now. On Saturday, the Diamondbacks were able to get the victory 9-1. And then on Friday, the Rangers in 11 innings were able to pull away 6-5. And then today at 7:03 on Fox, the Rangers and the Diamondbacks are going to continue the series for Game 3. So far, what do you think about it?
I think it's been evenly matched. Arizona has really played well, and Texas has got some firepower. If they could get pitching, which is their biggest concern out of the pen anyway, they're going to be a team to reckon with. But Arizona, which is young and aggressive and keep coming, and they pitch well out of the bullpen, they are able to challenge the Texas hitters. So it's really a good game, a good series. Seager and Garcia has been lights out along with this young left fielder for Texas out of Elizabeth, Tennessee. It's really been good. White is his name, I think. Can't think of his name right now.
Gee, you a baseball guy. What you ain't watching none of the series? I can't believe it because your team's not in it.
I have no interest in this World Series.
Look at him. His team don't get in, and then he's on that right there. He's rocking the Cubs today. For you right now, you see the Rangers and the Diamondbacks. Who seems to be the team that has the favor right now?
Well, if you were a betting man. No,
I am a betting man.
Well, I didn't say I, but I said you.
Yeah, I am a betting man.
You would like to think, even though the series have proven that home teams really don't have an advantage. But in this case, I sort of think Arizona do have an edge going home, The park is bigger. The outfielders are a little better defensive because they can run. And I think that pitching is better. And the manager has done an outstanding job of following, and he does it. Can you imagine a computer is telling you what to do and you do it?
AI is driving everything these days, Coach. It is literally changing the world. AI can be your friend now. They got it on the apps, right, where you can talk. If you don't have friends, AI talk back with you.
You can talk by yourself.
I just call you.
I'll be damned if I'll talk to that computer.
Yeah, I just call you if I want to talk,
That's
man.
Right. Just call me. We'll talk.
I ain't got to do all that with the AI, man. But it is the world that we live in today. And computer processing, when you're talking about artificial intelligence, AI, with the processing that it has, is now generating so much data and information that it can be useful when used the right way.
And that's the key. Use the right way, because we do live in a world where if you could use it properly, it has a lot of benefits. I see why the president, Joe Biden, passed a law to try and curtail, bring it in, AI, USA.
Yeah, I can understand, because in the wrong hands, used in the wrong way, because AI can tell you some stuff. It'll come up with some stuff. It'll formulate it. But what is your thoughts at the way that the game of baseball, especially on the professional level, is now using analytics and using data and computing it and now making decisions more so than as a general manager, me making calls, or Brad Pitt when he was with the Oakland A's and it made everybody wonder, like, what are you doing? And he was saying, well, if we can get rid of this guy, he's putting us so far over the cap space, but let's take 3 guys to do what this one guy does and bring down so we can keep ourselves within that cap space. And each one of these guys, it was a movie, but based on a true story, the world of analytics and data being used to really process success of a team.
Yeah, it's not really using analytic that much. He's going on gut feeling to a lot, and that's what he and Dusty Baker, who are managers in their 70s, have been around a long time. They really believe in that gut feeling to a large extent on what they see and feel. Analytic doesn't see that. I've seen so many holes in analytic, and again, you got a pitcher throwing 98 miles per hour. You got a right-hand hitter who is going to be late, but they won't move the second baseman and shortstop over with late and with 2 strikes. That's not good analytic, in my opinion, because the odds are he's throwing 98. The count is 0-0-1-1. You might be able to play that way, but there's a thing called adjustment. You must adjust when the situation in a hole, and they stay there. And I don't like that. And I saw it so many times. And Dusty and I talked about it because we talked about a lot of stuff during the course of the year.
Does that seem to push out the older guys from the old school, like a Dusty Baker, compared to the younger guys who will probably be a lot more accepting and open to roll with analytics? Because I'm pretty sure an older generation will be like, man, I don't want to hear all that. I'm going by what I know, what I see, what I feel. It's nothing that data can tell me within that moment of what I'm noticing is happening. Does that kind of push out the older guys?
Yeah, let me tell you something, then I'll tell you about the older guy. That younger guy will let those people who run the analytics cut their hand off and accept it. Where an older man is going to say, no way, man, I'm not accepting that. You let me try it my way, and then part of it, I want this job.
Yeah, they just want to be in the door.
Just want to be in the door, and to me, that's not worth the thing.
What is the game of baseball going to look like then in the future as we continue to move towards this new way of managing and controlling the game?
So if we could go to a break.
Some Baton Rouge business travelers try working lines and wasted time. So if it's about going from driveway to runway with a lot less highway, isn't it about time you flew BTR? Baton Rouge Metro Airport. It's about time. Smart Baton Rouge business travelers travel out of Baton Rouge because BTR is so close and convenient, they're always one step ahead, rather than dead on their feet. So, isn't it about time you flew BTR? Baton Rouge Metro Airport.
Getting a letter from the IRS that you owe back taxes can be scary, but it doesn't have to be. Call Go Tax Resolution in Lafayette at 337-420-1040 today. We'll help stop garnishments, levies, and seizures immediately. With over 35 years of dealing directly with the IRS, our team of local professionals will help you pay the least amount possible. So if you owe back taxes to the IRS, you need help.
BRAC implemented the Imagine Your Park strategic plan nearly 20 years ago. The results transformed the park system in East Baton Rouge Parish. There are 12 new community parks, 6 dog parks, Liberty Lagoon Water Park, skateboard parks, fishing ponds, a new conservation area in Central, improved playgrounds, and a growing trail system. It's really a lot to keep track of.
So we decided to give you an insider's peek into some of these amazing new community assets through the eyes of the folks who know them best, BRAC's community partners.
My name is Nathaniel Klum, and I am Paddle BR. What I often say I am is chief doer of stuff. The two things that everyone wanted were paddling and trails, and in our case, pedal trails. And so Rec has been amazing at building paddle launch sites so that we can get out on the water and enjoy everything that Baton Rouge has to offer. Not only are they listening to everything that Imagine Your Parks and Imagine Your Parks 2 that we asked for, but it's actually getting done, which I don't know about you, but that makes me happy every day of the week.
No wonder BRAC is the recipient of the National Gold Medal by the National Recreation and Parks Association. There really is something about East Baton Rouge and national champions. BRAC, #1 and still getting better.
Hey, Coach Roger Cador here. There's something about teamwork that brings the best out in any business. When I need a tow, I call Roadrunner Towing. Roadrunner's 4 generations strong and homegrown right here in Baton Rouge.
Thanks, Coach. There's no job too large or too small. Call Roadrunner for quick, reliable, exceptional service. We don't want an arm and a leg. We just want your toes. And remember, take time each day to be a blessing to someone. Thank you.
With over 60 years of combined experience, Kathy Sherburne and Anna Barnett bring a wealth of knowledge and excitement to the framing industry. Keeping strong to the Louisiana culture, Acadian Frame and Art has numerous local artists and sports team memorabilia for their customers to choose from. Whether you're creating a gallery-like setting in your office or simply looking for some fun art for your kids' playroom, Acadian Frame and Art is your one-stop picture framing spot. Call 225-927-6129 or go to www.acadianframe.com.
Get the memoir from the legendary baseball coach from Southern University, Roger Cador, Against All Odds. Roger refused to let his past dictate his future by rising to legendary college baseball status. An inspiring story of tenacity, faith, and hope. Against All Odds chronicles Coach Cador's determination to reach higher, to want more, and to dig deeper to find the courage to chase his dreams. Against All Odds. Get yours today by Cador & Cador Publishing. You are now watching Choppin' It Up with Roger Cador and Perry White.
All right, we're back with another episode of Chopping It Up with Roger Cador. Of course, coming out of the break, I'm Perry White. He's the man, the myth, the legend, the Hall of Famer. He's everything. Roger Cador, my man on the board, Garrett Edgerson. We got a very special guest here joining us here on the show this morning. He is a guy that is a friend of yours, Coach Cador, and a very good friend because guess what? He's over there on the West Coast. You waking folks up early to come over here to Central Standard Time to get on here with us. You got to be a good friend. So we want to welcome here to the show this morning, Reggie Waller. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Perry and Coach Cador. How are you?
Fine, Reggie. You say Waller, but it's Waller, right?
It's Waller, yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
W-L-L-E-R.
It just depends how you say. I thought I said what you said, Coach. Am I understand what you're saying?
He's from Arkansas, so we have to overlook him a little.
Hey, I've heard worse attempts at my name. Did great.
I thought I said okay. Waller.
You were fine.
Oh, okay. You know, Coach got that accent, so sometimes you got to hear him say it a couple times just to make sure.
Right about this moment.
You know, you are a former minor league baseball player, manager, scout, and baseball executive, but most of all, you're a black man. You know, talk about that realm of a career in a professional sport and being able to have your finger on each one of those areas, not only as the player, but all the way up. You seem to have gone through the entire process of what it means to be a part of an organization and understand it in and out.
Yeah, it was quite the journey, and you know, as guys have, you know, I played my senior year in high school with a bad knee, and it happened 2 weeks after I graduated, and it was really kind of
you kind of breaking in and out on this, Reggie.
Going in and out, I see it.
Yeah.
How's it sound?
I can hear you, but it's like you're in and out. You're fading in, and then like
you want to call a house phone or no?
Hold on, Reggie. Hold on a second.
Text it to Coach right quick.
I got it. I just want to make sure.
Yeah, I can give it to you. It's 858.
You don't want to give it out over the air, Reggie.
Well, you on the air now. We're live. Well, you know what?
Yeah.
Hey, I don't answer it. I don't answer it, so we good.
Text it to me, Reggie. That way we'll have it.
Yeah, text it to him right quick. And then what we'll do, we'll just call you straight on.
Reggie? Text it.
We'll just try it right there when he comes back. He don't want to give his number out on air, huh? So, I used to do prank calls back in the day.
Really?
Yeah, I was bad. I'll prank call you and do the pizza places. I put in a big order for nothing. The main one you didn't want to do, I messed up and did it one time. I dialed 911 and hung up.
Oh.
Yeah, that's hang up. So we're going to be waiting on Reggie as we get the number and be able to get him back here on the line. But for now, we're going to keep it going. And you're talking about, Coach, how big are you when it comes to privacy?
Oh, very big.
Yeah.
I mean, because we live in a cup anyway. I'm using the cup, but I mean, we out there as a coach in athletic. You always out there where everybody see you. Value my privacy, and I don't want to be. I've had those days, and it's people who hadn't had those days want to have them. You got me? So I love my privacy. I don't love big crowds. I love being around small amount of people.
How was it when you had Ricky Weeks and the fact that, the superstar status that he had in terms of privacy when it comes to student athletes?
You see, I did so he could represent himself well. And I think that was a tremendous asset for him to have the things that I did, have him to be able to deal with them.
Yeah.
You know how difficult it is for a young kid who has never been in the spotlight before. Now you're preparing for the game to play on the field so they can benefit, the coaches. But I wanted him to benefit, so that's what I did.
I was always curious, I've never been no superstar, but, doing media and now that I'm into the world of media, a lot of people stop me that I have no clue who they are to say, hey, man, I like what you do. I support you. And I'm in this realm now. I've realized student athlete, 18, 19, 20, and you see it these days in college sports, especially because you got the age of social media and so much more in which, to be able to put yourself out there and be able to get that light on you it seems to be so much more now than ever before. And how do you kind of contain to have the limelight on you?
Well, it's not easy. But in Ricky's case, he handled it quite well. So, they made it easy because he understood what we were trying to do. He knew he needed time to make it to make everything work. He knew that he wasn't prepared when he first came out of high school into college to handle all of the things thrown at him. So we walked through the process.
Yeah, I'm calling you. You guys seem to be getting
on the line. We was about to get into something special because organization from a player all the way up into the what they seem to do it all. But from an African American standpoint, what has that process been like for you to understand the ins and out of an organization?
And especially moving beyond being a player is one of the most grueling processes that you'll ever come across. You get to know the ins and outs of the game. You do how to do things. And I came up in the Reds organization, and they were pretty adept at the fundamentals of the game. And, back then, Dodgers, Cardinals, Reds were probably the best and the Yankees, I would say, that were the best at teaching that. So it's something I'd say would have any meaningful participation with the Houston Astros. It was something I really loved. And I think the thing for me, it gave me an opportunity to use your imagination and to give players in California not seen. When I'm in California, there are other guys that have been scouts. They gave guys, especially some older African-American men, part-time jobs, and they just didn't allow them to have the clout necessary to move forward. But after scouting, probably the biggest point in looking at a place called the San Diego School of Bay, guys like Bob Clark, who ran it, Roger Craig, who was, of course, the manager with the Giants, pitching coach a long time, Bob Skinner, who was a hitting coach with the Pirates. So relative to scouting and understanding a lot of the nuances of the game, you'll see guys like Brent Strom, that's the pitching coach for the Arizona Diamondbacks. He was there. We were part of the group that owned it. Brent Strom, Tom House, were all there. And, of course, Bruce Bochy, who was, these guys are playing against each other, Rangers and the Diamondbacks, but Bruce Bochy was there amongst many, many other guys. Alan Trammell, Hall of Famer, Tony Gwynn, Hall of Famer, and also Dave Smith. So it was there that I developed my knack for seeing baseball skills and also how to develop them. So that's really where it all started. And then there was a bit of a fervor that started once I got involved, in this. So when I started scouting, they just kind of the acquaintances that I had met over the years, the grading scale that they use on it. We get there and there's a Tony Gwynn that's there, and the people in the Astros organization really didn't like him, but he could roll the pole. He could
wreck about that and all the other things, but you're a part of your family is a part of something I think is historical. Your brother Ty was a general manager, and and you were doing your thing with scouting.
Executive. My brother Ty, he became a farm director, and then later on, he was on when Ty started his baseball career off of the field. He was Bruce Bochy's first coach that had been in thirdly. Tony and there's that group that all talked together, and we kind of helped each other as we go along, because that first one was crazy. My then wife, I remember, went to and I remember calling her from the road because I couldn't attend the gathering. She was there with my children, and she said, these people treated me like you use whatever expletive you want, and I said, just welcome to my world every day. And that's what it was like in those days.
Yeah, Players Association and the things through series and the HBCU thing and the Andre Dawson Classic. I mean, you got your fingerprint on many things.
And one of the things that I always wanted to do when I was a young scout, I always said that I wanted to be able to scout black players. And they don't tend to understand the scouting industry then, nor do they today, how a player progresses in his career. If you look at old pictures of Hank Aaron and Willie Mays, and you see these small, they're slender, strong, athletic bodies. They don't understand how players progress. Our makeup and about Scott again said that people didn't get appreciably faster or stronger. They didn't throw better. Well, how could they tell me that? I've got two brothers, and all three of us played professional ball, and we all got stronger, faster. And it's just one of those things that they just didn't understand. That's why I talk to kids, any guy, and you think that he's not going to be the guy. He ends up being the guy, and that guy that's fully shaven and doing all those things that he's doing when he's in high school, many times they don't end up being much. They're just a stronger guy now. They won't necessarily be down the road.
Hey, Reg, you got a second to hang on with us? We got to get ready to take a break. Can you hang on and come back out after the break with us?
Yeah, I'll hang with you.
All right, let's get ready to take a break. We'll be back with more Chopping It Up with Coach Roger Cador and Perry White. Stay tuned.
Some Baton Rouge business travelers travel out of Baton Rouge. Some don't. The ones that do know BTR is also known. Not flying BTR means more traffic, longer lines, and wasted time. So if it's about going from driveway to runway with a lot less highway, isn't it about time you... Smart Baton Rouge business travelers travel out of Baton Rouge because BTR is so close and convenient, they're always one step ahead, rather than dead on their feet. So
getting a letter from the IRS that you owe back taxes can be scary, but it doesn't have to be. Call Go Tax Resolution in Lafayette at 337-420-1040 today. We'll help stop garnishments, levies, and seizures immediately. With over 35 years of dealing directly with the IRS, our team of local professionals will help you pay the least amount possible. So if you owe back taxes to the IRS, you need help. Call the tax professionals at Go Tax Resolution in Lafayette at 337-420-1040. Your go-to tax relief.
BRAC implemented implemented the Imagine Your Park strategic plan nearly 20 years ago. The results transformed the park system in East Baton Rouge Parish. There are 12 new community parks, 6 dog parks, Liberty Lagoon Water Park, skateboard parks, fishing ponds, a new conservation area in Central, improved playgrounds, and a growing trail system. It's really a lot to keep track of.
So we decided to give you an insider's peek into some of these amazing new community assets through the eyes of the folks who know them best, BRAC's community partners.
My name is Nathaniel Klum, and I am Paddle BR. What I often say I am is chief doer of stuff. The two things we wanted were paddling and trails, and in our case, pedal trails. And so we did a lot of work to make it so that people could get out on the bayou, but without access points, no one can use them. BRAC has been amazing at building paddle launch sites so that we can get out on the water and enjoy everything that Baton Rouge has to offer. Not only are they listening to everything that Imagine Your Parks and Imagine Your Parks 2 that we asked for, but it's actually getting done, which I don't know about you, but that makes me happy every day of the week.
No wonder BRAC is the recipient of the National Gold Medal by the National Recreation and Parks Association. There really is something about East Baton Rouge and national champions, one and still getting better.
Roadrunners 4 generations strong and homegrown right here in Baton Rouge.
Thanks, Coach. There's no job too large or too small. Call Roadrunner for quick, reliable, exceptional service. We don't want an arm and a leg. We just want your toes. And remember, take time each day to be a blessing to someone. Thank you.
With over 60 years of combined experience, Kathy Sherburne and Anna Barnett bring a wealth of knowledge and excitement to the customers to choose from. Whether you're creating a gallery-like setting in your office or simply looking for some fun art for your kids' playroom, Acadian Frame and Art is your one-stop picture framing spot. Call 225-927-6129 or go to www.acadianframe.com.
Get the memoir, Against All Odds. Roger refused to let his past dictate his future by rising to legendary college baseball status. An inspiring story of tenacity, faith, and hope. Against All Odds chronicles Coach Cador's determination to reach higher, to want more, and to dig deeper to find the courage to chase his dreams. Against All Odds. Get yours today by Cador and Cador Publishing. You are now watching Choppin' It Up with Roger Cador and Perry White.
All right, we're back with more of Chopping It Up with Coach Roger Cador and Perry White. Of course, I'm Perry White. It's Roger Cador, and my man on the board, Ged Anderson, joined by a very special guest via phone, Reggie Waller. Good morning, Reggie.
Hey there, Perry. Hey, Coach.
Still rocking and rolling with us. Hey, Reggie, you know, I want to dive into something here on the second half of the show with you. I know you and Coach have been working together, but most importantly, light of the world to be seen with their talents, and especially when you're talking about doing MLB All-Star Weekend. You guys have put together an all-star game and being able to showcase their talent. Coach, you've been around the game in HBCUs for 40 years plus. You understand it better than anybody. But then to get the mind of a guy like Reggie, and you guys are working together along with MLB to bring that talent to the forefront for people to see. Reggie, from your perspective, what has that process been like working along with Coach and many others to try to get HBCU baseball athletes out there for the world to see?
You know, it's been a labor of love. It's something, as I started saying earlier, you know, when I was a young scout, I always wanted to just scout, you know, the black players. And as we get out there now, we see that a lot of guys now have hope of being able to pursue a baseball career because they're getting opportunity. And there are a lot of things that have happened right now with the portal and all of that. And I know that some might think that it's a deterrent to what HBCU is trying to do. And I just am not one that feel that way. You know, I live out here in California, and some of the guys later on end up going to HBCUs. It wasn't even a consideration. Guys, you notice that the vast number of the Major League players are coming from the college ranks. So that means that if you're not in college at a D1, hopefully your chances of succeeding and going through the process are limited because they don't see you playing against the type of competition that they want and all the rest of it. And you don't have the guys that were around when Andre Dawson and those guys were covering, Florida A&M and the rest, so that they would be able to take a dream. So it's great that they're getting to see it. And some of these players are entering the portal, and they're going somewhere best for all the kids. You go there, if they think they have a better opportunity, go on. Get involved, get in line, get in the process, see if you can figure it out, and then still it opens up more opportunities for other players to play, at a HBCU. So it's a good process. I'm glad it's happened, and we need to continue to shine light on it so that we can continue to provide hope for these players.
Coach, what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah. When one player leave, open the door is open for someone else to step in. You see, Reggie talked about something earlier about how the skinny kid and the well-developed kid appears to be more ready than that skinny kid, but later on the skinny kid end up doing better with more repetition. So when one player leave a team and go into the portal, it just provides an opportunity for a kid that is hungry, willing to work and improve himself, and you just never know. Because the 4 kids who got drafted out of the All-Star game, nobody thought much of them when they came out of school. I'm going to go back to one even more than that. Ricky Weeks had 2 offers when I signed him. So you just don't know.
What was the other school, Coach?
George Washington.
Okay, I'm curious. I was curious to know that.
Yeah,
Southern and George Washington was the 2 schools.
And the coach is the coach at Wake Forest, Tom Waters. Tom Waters is our personal friend, so he and I had an act for seeing talent, and he and I laugh about it all the time. Can you believe? And the day I saw Ricky, it was there, and they missed him, and I saw him.
Wow.
So, it may look a little disappointing to people to say, oh, kids are leaving. But whenever one leaves, that means somebody else is coming through that door, and you just never know. With hard work and determination, a lot of kids have gotten better.
Well, and it helps when they get someone like Coach Cador that would allow someone to get in there and to teach them. The problem is in today's world, many of the college coaches don't want to develop. They don't want to teach. And the same is true of professional ball. They want, many of these kids, once they get in there, they want you to already know how to play. Well, that's just not the way it goes. Somewhere along the line, you got to be taught. And if you're taught and you have the physical and the mental abilities, you'll be
about what happens with the American black kid. You only have 2 years out of high school to prove your worth. If you can't jump out of a rookie league, then you're gone. As it relates to the Latin American kid who gets 4 years. He gets
correct.
2 years in the DR, Dominican Republic, and he gets 2 years here. So now he's 20 years old, 21, and he's got a chance to develop, where the American kids only get 2 years. So that is something a lot of people don't really know, and that is what is hurting baseball to a large extent. And this is why programs that like you and I are involved in with Major League Baseball is going to go a long ways in helping kids to be more prepared as they go into pro ball.
Absolutely. One of the guys that was there with us at the Hank Aaron Invitational, the great Eric Davis.
Yes.
He spent 2 years in rookie ball, and even the basics and the fundamentals together, and he took off.
Yes.
And next thing you know, he was in the big league. So you're right to do in order to move forward.
And I'm with that because I look at even where I'm from, the many baseball fields that used to be flooded with teams with African-American young males playing baseball, including myself. And now when I go back home and to many other urban areas, I see baseball fields that are not utilized anymore because we're starting to look at the distance between young black males playing baseball and now looking more into the basketball and the football arena. And when basketball, you play defense, you shoot the ball, pretty basic, right? Football, when you go to a position, it's pretty much what you can learn from the fundamental. But when you talk about baseball, you got to learn how to feel that ball. You got to learn how to throw it. You got to learn how to catch. You got to learn how to have an eye to swing at it. There's a lot when you talk about that sport. When you talk about development, nobody really wants to put in the time like it once was because it takes a lot more time to develop a baseball.
Man, that for the young player that wants to attend college, the opportunities are not as good. The number of scholarships that are available, and they split it all up in order to get players there. And some of them just don't have the money to be able to attend those schools. So I get it. I absolutely get it. And the fact that in many ways, professional
11.7 scholarship in baseball. You either have to be rich or poor. Poor means you'll qualify for the Pell Grant and afford to go and play baseball. I'm going to go back to when I was coaching college. People frowned upon me I used to keep a lot of kids around. And I had something that I understood. I got a lot of inner city kids from Detroit, Chicago. I'm going to be ready to play D1. So what I did, I kept them around and worked them and developed them. I had a 2-year program for them, year in and year out, because we had kids come in like a farm system. And I used to tell my assistant coaches, we're going to run it just like the farm system do. We just don't have where we could play JV games. But we're going to keep all these kids and run them through the ringer, help them to get better. And they'll be just like, and those kids understood exactly what I was trying to do with them. And not one of them left, Reggie. And not one left, because they understood.
That's outstanding.
Yeah. So people think it's all about, I knew we were not going to get the top flight kids, so we had to do our own development. Find the athletes and
are looking at undervalued players and find a way. You think about Tampa Bay and those places. Think about you were doing that was before it was fashionable.
Yeah. I was ahead of the game before.
No doubt.
Yeah, And what I have tryout camps, and he allowed me to follow, piggyback, wherever he went. And he had one thing, don't tell them lazy scout what we're doing. And I said, I'm never going to open my mouth to them because my thing was, I followed him wherever he had tried, and I knew he was in love. He loved him because he was the king of the 1,000, and he brought in a lot of brothers. And those he didn't want, I was able to capitalize on them. So that was the kind of thing I did. I just learned the system, don't try to figure it all out on your own. They got people already got things in place that are working. Try to piggyback and get
that's great. Yeah. Well, you told me a lot of things, Roger, but that's the first time you told me about Doug Gathaway.
Yeah, well, we hadn't had a chance, and that's this is the kind of stuff I'm telling you. When I tell people how I made it, this is one of the avenues that was available. I went in, and the thing is, when Doug came to me and wanted a recommendation for an African-American coach, he would always call me and ask me, give me a name. Doug Gathaway, Rudy Traveris, all of those guys, we all came through there and worked hard and made it happen.
That's outstanding. You gotta find a way. You gotta find niche opportunities, and you obviously did that.
Hey, Reggie, man, we want to say thank you. Any last things out there for the people? You want to shout somebody out or anything?
Hey, well, let me tell you this. I'm going to continue to shout out Roger because he continues to do some things in the realm of baseball that, again, helps these young men. He was a very good friend of a I knew Roger before I knew him. How can I say that?
Yeah, I was. You did, and it's a loving way to do it. You and your brother Ty, y'all both did. I mean, I have to get shout out to you all for that.
Well, hey, man, we're going to keep doing.
All right, let's get ready to take a break. We come back, we're going to get ready to close this thing out, so y'all stay tuned more and Chopping It Up with Coach Roger, Cador, and Perry White, all right?
Some Baton Rouge business travelers travel out of Baton Rouge. Some don't. The ones that do know BTR is all about being closer, more convenient for lines, and wasted time. So if it's about going from driveway to runway with a lot less highway, smart Baton Rouge business travelers travel out of Baton Rouge because BTR is so close and convenient, they're always one step ahead, rather than
Getting a letter from the IRS that you owe back taxes can be scary, but it doesn't have to be. Call Go Tax Resolution in Lafayette at 337-420-1040 today. We'll help stop garnishments, levies, and seizures immediately. With over 35 years of dealing directly with the IRS, our team of local professionals will help you pay the least amount possible. So if you owe back taxes to the IRS, you need help. Call the tax professionals at Go Tax Resolution.
BRAC implemented the Imagine Your Park strategic plan nearly 20 years ago. The results transformed the park system in East Baton Rouge Parish. There are 12 new community parks, 6 dog parks, Liberty Lagoon Water Park, skateboard parks, fishing ponds, a new conservation area in Central, improved playgrounds, and a growing trail system. It's really a lot to keep track of.
So, BRAC's community partners.
My name is Nathaniel Klung, and I am Paddle BR. What I often say I am is chief doer of stuff. The two things that everyone wanted were paddling and trails, and in our case, paddle trails. And so BRAC has been amazing at building paddle launch sites so that Imagine Your Parks and Imagine Your Parks 2 that we asked for, but it's actually getting done, which I don't know about you, but that makes me happy every day of the week.
No wonder BRAC is the recipient of the National Gold Medal by the National Recreation and Parks Association. There really is something about East Baton Rouge and national champions. BRAC, #1 and still getting better.
Roadrunners 4 generations strong and homegrown right here in Baton Rouge.
Thanks, Coach. There's no job too large or too small. Call Roadrunner for quick, reliable, exceptional service. We don't want an arm and a leg, we just want your toes. And remember,
With over 60 years of combined experience, Kathy Sherburne and Anna Barnett bring a wealth of knowledge and excitement for their customers to choose from. Whether you're creating a gallery-like setting in your office or simply looking for some fun art for your kids' playroom, Acadian Frame and Art is your one-stop picture framing spot. Call 225-927-6129 or go to www.acadianframe.com.
Get the memoir from Against All Odds. Roger refused to let his past dictate his future by rising to legendary college baseball status. An inspiring story of tenacity, faith, and hope. Against All Odds chronicles Coach Cador's determination to reach higher, to want more, and to dig deeper to find the courage to chase his dreams. Against All Odds. Get yours today by Cador and Cador Publishing. You are now watching Choppin' It Up with Roger Cador and Perry White.
All right, we're back with more Chopping It Up with Coach Roger Cador. I'm Perry White. He's Roger Cador, my man on the board. Garrett Anderson, Coach he said when we're going to give him that content. All right, we're going to work
on it's precious. It's 24 karat gold.
Hey, Aaron, where you at, Aaron?
Aaron ain't here. You're here. You can't even take a picture and send to Aaron.
Because we right here live, Coach. We, that's what I'm saying. We don't. It's certain things into technology today that you got it. All I got to do is just screenshot us right there. Look at that good picture. Just look up there and smile with me one time, Coach.
No, you're gonna take it with the camera.
Now just look up there and smile with me. You'll be surprised at how we do. Just look up here and smile. Let's smile on 3, 2, 1. You ready?
Yeah.
There we go. Look, we just took a picture because I'm gonna screenshot that.
Yeah. You're gonna take it with the camera. Something I understand.
Hey, it was good to have Reggie come on, man, and be able to describe and talk about the things that you and he have been working on, dealing with MLB, opening up the doors for African-American players coming from the HBCU realm, and as well as to be able to talk from a perspective of saying from a player all the way to management, which you have to have now with that process, you get to learn the ins and out of an organization all the way through that a lot of people typically don't get to see, Coach.
In 2013 when Bud Selig, the commissioner of Major League Baseball, put me on the diversity committee. And not only on that committee, he put me in a room with owners, presidents, vice general managers. And that's where you learn the ins and outs of organization and where they were trying to take Major League Baseball. And I learned a great deal from that experience.
Hey, that is good to know, and I'm glad Reggie came on. It was good. It's always good to talk to somebody on the inside, and it's good to have the positions that they're putting themselves in, and somebody got to get through the door in order to open it up to then start pulling somebody else through. And so that's the beauty of being able to talking to those people and be able to get an understanding of what is it like. And I know it's not easy, especially when you look like us, Coach. I know it ain't easy once you get through that door and you sit in that room, and it may be one or two of the ones that look like us in a room that looks like somebody else.
Well, it's not easy, and then it just takes years for it to come to fruition, because I started out in Maine in a long time and it took us about 8 years before we were able to get this urban invitation going. And All-Star game, the HBCU All-Star game, 3 years. And then we got it done. So it just takes time and for people to believe in what I'm saying. And it wasn't just my word, but they had done. And I've been, to be honest with you, I've been really aggressive in not giving up, not letting up. Keep pounding it. Keep putting it.
That's from the man himself, Roger Cador, putting in that work. Even when you don't know he's working, he's somewhere doing something. I'm telling you, always doing something, Coach. It's time.
Oh, we owe 30 minutes. I'm only joking.
Look. We appreciate everybody for paying attention and watching with us. Hit that subscribe button right there underneath the video. Get that notification every time we go live. And we love to have you guys support. Spread the word. Let people know what's going on here with Chopping It Up with Coach Roger Cador. The man is working even when he's retired, and that's what the beauty of it is. This is his new life now. He's in the world of media now. You may catch him calling engagement, and you do really well when you speak with young people. I've had an opportunity to see you speak, and I like the message on how you're able to relate and you're trying to figure out about the young millenniums today. He is working, man. This guy, he's always doing something, even in retirement, but he's doing it for the greater good of the communities and for the greater good of the schools. And
I do sit down, but I keep active.
Thank God for phones and Zoom calls, huh? You ain't got to go all over the place for meetings. You just sit right there in the confines of your own white. He's Roger Cador, my man on the board. Get Edgerton, as always.
I guess Gio